So let's talk about the reality of storms. It has been said you are either going into a storm, already in the middle of a storm, or coming out of a storm. Hey family, welcome back to If Only One Overcomes. I'm your host, Katie Lee, and I'm so glad you're here with me today. Over the past few weeks, we looked back with gratitude, leaned into the power of community, and even discovered how serving others can help us heal while we're still healing ourselves. But what happens when the storms of life roll in? When progress feels undone? When hope feels distant? When you get knocked down again after you just got up? Today, we're talking about resilience in the storm. Not avoiding the storms, but learning how to endure them, grow through them, and trust God in the middle of them. Because setbacks are not the end of your story. They're just part of your strengthening. So let's talk about the reality of storms. It has been said you are either going into a storm, already in the middle of a storm, or coming out of a storm. You see, there are different types of storms. There are the external storms, job loss, health struggles, broken relationships, financial hardships. And then there are the internal storms, anxiety, fear, self-doubt, grief. Both of them are real, and both test our faith. But what are the purpose of storms? Storms don't always come to destroy. They often come to develop. They reveal what's shaky and what's solid in our lives. Storms force us to lean on God's strength instead of our own. And there's hope beyond the storm. The good news is this: storms don't last forever. Just as the rain eventually clears, God promises to bring peace after the chaos. Your storm is shaping you, not breaking you. And when the clouds lift, you'll see that your roots have been growing deeper, your faith stronger, and your testimony greater. Let's take a look at biblical storm stories. Job 13:15. Job lost everything, yet declared, "Though he slay me, yet I will hope in him." And Paul was in prison, shipwrecked, persecuted, yet still preached and wrote letters of encouragement. And in Mark 4:39, the disciples in the boat, they panicked because of the storm, but Jesus spoke, "Peace, be still." Listen, overcomers. I faced seasons where I felt like one wave after another kept crashing. But over time, I realized the storms weren't evidence that God left me. It was proof that He was strengthening me. The very places I thought would break me were the places He built resilience. So let's go ahead and look at 3 anchors in the storm. 1. Perseverance. See the storm as preparation, not punishment. Storms refined us, not defined us. Ask yourself, what is God preparing me for through this? And here's a scripture, James 1:2-4. Consider it pure joy. The testing of your faith produces perseverance. Storms are temporary classrooms. God never wastes pain. He uses it to position you for purpose. 2. Presence. Anchor yourself in God's presence. Resilience grows when we learn to abide in God, not just call on Him in crises. And here's some practical tools. Breathe prayers. Inhale, God is with me. Exhale, I will not fear. Worship in the storm. Singing even when you don't feel like it. Journaling your prayers. Pouring out your heart honestly before God. Psalms 46:1 says, God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Consider creating a simple storm routine. Maybe a worship playlist, a quiet prayer corner, a favorite verse card. Having something you return to can give you a steady rhythm when chaos tries to shake you. 3. Perseverance, enduring beyond the immediate storm. Resilience isn't just about getting through. It's about growing stronger for what's next. Think of Joseph, betrayed, enslaved, in prison, yet God used every storm to prepare him for leadership. Don't just survive the storm, overcomer. Let it prepare you for your calling. In Galatians 6:9, let us not become weary in good doing, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Perseverance is like planting seeds in a storm. You may not see growth right away, but the rain that feels heavy is actually nourishing the soil for your future harvest. Your storm is watering tomorrow's breakthrough. So listen, overcomers. Storms are not signs of God's absence. They are opportunities to see His presence more clearly. Resilience is built in the middle of the storm, not after it passes. Remember, the storm doesn't get the final say. God does. And the same Jesus who calmed the sea then still speaks peace over your storm today. This week, I encourage you to build your own storm survival kit. Write down 3 scriptures that anchor you, a worship song that lifts your spirit, and 1 prayer you can repeat when life feels overwhelming. Keep it close so when storms come, you'll be ready. Now ask yourself, what storm from my past actually prepared me for who I am today? Next week, we'll talk about learning to rest and reset, finding peace and stillness, because resilience isn't only about enduring storms, it's also about knowing when to rest and let God renew your strength. Now, if this episode encouraged you today, share it with someone who needs hope in their storm, and be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And leave a review. It helps more overcomers find this community. Follow me on Instagram at If Only One Overcomes for daily encouragement and prayers. And as always, remember, your life is too important because God has a plan and a purpose for your life. Until the next episode, God bless.